Caught in the corners of the mind in the dark, Devil Came Through Here series forces us to look at the darkness of humanity and gives us the opportunity to kill evil with handmade weapons with a terrifying doll's head attachment. Featuring cannibals, murderers, religious zealots, and a raven man, it's a perfect Sunday afternoon game to play, light-hearted and floaty fun. The games in the trilogy are this. Games in the trilogy are Cat Lady, Downfall Redux, and Lorelei. Each one of these is going to get their own separate video, and I will talk about each of them within this video as well. These games are known for their dark psychological themes and their unique stories. They often explore deep, disturbing topics, making them a perfect fit for fans of psychological horror. In this video, we're going to break down the storyline, look at the characters, and look at the lore behind these games. Anything I've missed out on or is incorrect in your mind, please let me know. I'd love to be wrong so I can learn some more. If you've not played these games and wish to, what are you waiting for? Get off, I'll wait. Or you can pause it and come back to the video later. I found a Cat Lady game one day searching through Steam, and although the graphics seemed menial, I had a craving for a bit of bloodshed. As I sat and played the game, which I finished in one sitting as I became addicted, I realised I was horribly wrong about one thing. The graphics were perfect for the story. Bloodshed is so much more than I had imagined, and the deep, dark hole the story forces you into is a forever place in my mind. I go back to this game about once a year, and it's now just part of me, giving me a chance to defeat my own demons. Years later, in 2016, I came across Downfall. I bought and played it with a hint of nostalgia creeping into my mind, but I thought it was just similar graphics. Like maybe it was made by the same people. I don't look into games or movies and things like that before I play or watch, as I've spoken about on the channel before, so I can go in clean and spoiler-free. When I finished the game and found out that they coexist in the same time and world, I love the game even more. Be playing them both again so I can devour the stories and see exactly how they fit in together. When Lorelei came out in 2019, I knew it was coming, but it did not take away from the amazing story and the extension of my favourite dark realm. The Cat Lady follows Susan Ashworth, a middle-aged woman who is depressed and isolated after the death of her child and the breakdown of her relationship. Known as the Cat Lady because of her affinity for stray cats, Susan decides to end her life.
Thanks for nothing. Goodbye.
However, her unaliving attempt leads her to a strange afterlife where she meets the Queen of Maggots. The Queen grants Susan immortality and tasks her with eliminating 5 psychopaths, referred to as Parasites, who pose threats to others. Susan wakes up in a hospital where she meets a nurse named Liz.
My name is Liz, by the way.
Liz reveals that Susan's daughter saved her, which confuses Susan because she has no daughter. Susan tries to escape but is captured by Dr. X, a sadistic psychiatrist who kills patients to create art. Susan eventually escapes, possibly killing Dr. X in the process. Back at her apartment, Susan meets Mitzi, a young woman with terminal cancer who becomes her roommate. Mitzi had pretended to be Susan's daughter to save her life. The two form a bond. Mitzi reveals her tragic past, including her boyfriend Jack's unaliving, after learning about her illness.
And he begged, and eventually just kept screaming at me. I figured it was his crazy idea of a modern romance.
Throughout the game, Susan confronts and eliminates 5 parasites. These encounters are intensified and often involve psychological and physical horror. Each parasite represents a different form of human depravity and cruelty. The climax involves a confrontation with the final parasite, where Susan must make a critical decision that affects the game's ending. The choices made throughout the games influence the final outcome and whether Mitzi survives. Cat Lady has 3 possible endings. Number 1, the golden ending. Susan overcomes her depression and Mitzi survives. This is the best and happiest of endings.
But against all odds, she just got better. Maybe it's because of that last candle.
Number 2, the normal ending. Susan survives, but Mitzi either succumbs to her cancer or dies in the explosion when she shoots the Eye of Adam. Number 3, revenge ending. Susan takes the mask and kills the Eye of Adam. Each ending reflects different moral and ethical choices that are made during the game, aligning with the themes you enjoy exploring in the horror narrative.
In my head it's like...
Susan Ashworth is a middle-aged woman, around late 40s, early 50s, when the events of the Cat Lady takes place. Her age is not explicitly stated in the game, but her life experience and narrative suggest she's in that age range. Susan was married to a man named Eric. Their relationship was deeply affected by the tragic loss of their child. which led to significant strain and emotional distance between them. Eric's death further compounded Susan's feelings of isolation and despair. Susan and Eric had a daughter named Zoe. Zoe's death is a pivotal event in Susan's backstory, contributing to her severe depression and sense of hopelessness. The loss of her child is a recurring theme in the game, symbolising the profound impact of grief and loss on Susan's mental state. The death of her husband and child is central to Susan's character development and the game's narrative. These losses were not just personal tragedies, they also serve as metaphors for the broader theme of the game, such as struggles with inner demons, quest for meaning, and the journey towards healing and redemption. Susan's story is a poignant exploration of how trauma and loss can shape a person's life, and her journey through the Cat Lady is a testament to her resilience and strength. Mitzi Hunt is a pivotal character in the Cat Lady, serving as Susan Ashworth's flatmate and a close friend. Her presence brings significant dynamic to the story, adding depth and emotional resonance. Mitzi is a young, energetic, and tech-savvy woman who is terminally ill with cancer. Despite her illness, she exhibits a strong will to live and determination to seek justice for her deceased boyfriend, Jack. Jack was driven to unaliving by an online troll known as Eye of Adam, and Mitzi's quest for revenge becomes a central plotline in the game. Mitzi and Susan's relationship starts when Mitzi, homeless and in need of a place to stay, lies about being Susan's daughter to save her life. This initial deception quickly gives way to a genuine bond. Mitzi's presence helps Susan reconnect with the world and find a sense of purpose. Their friendship is marked by mutual support and understanding, with each woman helping the other confront their respective demons. Mitzi's battle with cancer and her quest for justice symbolises hope and resilience. Her determination to confront the Eye of Adam reflects the inner strength and refusal to be a passive victim in her circumstances. Mitzi's arrival in Susan's life represents the possibility of connection and healing. The friendship becomes a source of strength for both characters, highlighting the importance of human relationship and overcoming trauma. Mitzi's storyline revolves around the desire for revenge against Eye of Adam. This quest is not just about retribution, but also finding closure and peace for herself and Jack. Queen of Maggots is a mysterious old woman with the power to raise the dead. The Queen seemingly takes particular interest in Susan Ashworth and Lorelei Wood, offering them both a second chance at life. However, it's revealed throughout each game, and the series as a whole, that she's only manipulating them to play into her game. Queen of Maggots is an ancient being that has existed since long before humanity evolved. She rests in an alternate world inside of the road tunnel, feeding off the corpses and souls of both wicked and abused individuals. Most commonly taking the form of an old woman, later revealed to be a puppet, the Queen of Maggots is a massive, oily humanoid made of maggots and mannequin parts. She endlessly devours the souls of the dead while feeding off those belonging to the living. Queen is essentially an avatar for evil and suffering in the world, and perhaps the universe, ranging from mental health to murder to unaliving. However, the Queen is not solely responsible for the pain and cruelty among human beings. Rather, she merely adds fuel to the fire. Let's be honest, humans are going to be self-destructive. They're going to hurt each other. Humans are the monsters in the world. All she has to do is poke them. The game uses various metaphors to explore Susan's mental state and her journey towards recovery. Queen of Maggots, she offers Susan the chance to come back to life and deal with those pesky parasites, which is a metaphorical representation of her inner demons and the people who have wronged her. The cats play a significant role in the game, symbolising independence, resilience, and the will to survive. Susan's connection with the cats highlights her inner strength and her ability to endure despite her suffering. Susan's apartment serves as a metaphor for her mind. It is a place of safety and also a prison, reflecting on her feelings of being trapped by her depression. As she progresses through the game, the state of her apartment changes, symbolising her mental and emotional journey. The game's use of colour, particularly the stark contrasts between black, white and red, emphasise the theme of life, death and the struggle in between. Let's have a look at the parasites. There are 5 deranged individuals that Susan must confront and eliminate. Dr. X, a sadistic psychiatrist who kills his patients to create art.
Yes, this is by far my favourite of songs.
He's the first parasite we meet, and the most devious, hiding in a mental hospital in plain sight and learning the secrets of his patients before torturing and killing them. After killing Susan, he moves on to his next victim, highly intelligent and psychopathic. He's also a horrid dancer.
Would you like me to dance for you?
None of those things can save him from our immortal retributionist and feline lover.
See you in hell.
pest control man. He comes to the apartment to deal with Susan's stray cats, but kidnaps Susan and takes her to his home to torture and sexually assault, and ultimately chop up to eat. He is one of the most brutal and sadistic parasites. His wife Gladys is jealous of her husband's love for taking sexual, non-consensual gratification in other women and wants to kill Susan. Her name is shown in the credits, unlike her pest control husband.
Well, don't you worry, my sweetest. I know a thing or two about pussycats. I can help. What do you say? Shall I take a good look at this pussy of yours?
The carpenter, who has no affiliation to Susan according to the wiki, but I believe it's the man she was having a possible affair with, as he also brings her flowers. He wants to hear Susan play, or killing her. Unfortunately for him, she plays to call the cats, and that is his undoing. The Eye of Adam is a significant character. He's the fifth and final parasite that Susan must confront, and to be honest, he's the most disgusting and the most evil in my eyes. Adam, known only as the Eye of Adam, is a malicious internet troll who manipulates vulnerable individuals into committing the final act. He is paralysed, so he can only move his left eyeball, which he uses to control a mouse through an eye tracker.
You fucking murderer! Tonight it's your turn to die.
His physical limitations fuel his bitterness and hatred towards the world, leading him to prey on others' suffering. Adam's actions have a profound effect on the game's characters. For instance, Mitzi Hunt, the key character in the game, seeks revenge against Adam after her boyfriend Jack is manipulated into unaliving himself. This personal vendetta drives much of the narrative tension in the later chapters of the game. Adam's ability to manipulate others, despite his physical limitations, serves as a metaphor for the insidious nature of online predators and the danger of internet anonymity. Adam's paralysis and subsequent isolation reflects the themes of despair and hopelessness that permeate the game. His actions are a manifestation of his internal torment. Mitzi's quest to find and confront Adam symbolizes the struggle for justice and personal cost of revenge. The Eye of Adam's character is a prime example of psychological horror. Adam's ability to cause real-world harm through virtual means blurs the lines between reality and the digital world, creating a sense of unease and fear. And the fact that his father is aware that something is going on and is not doing anything about it makes him just as culpable. It's still got the same circle of hell in my eyes. The parasites represent various forms of human evil and psychological torment. Each parasite embodies a different aspect of malevolence or trauma. The flower man symbolizes resurfacing of past trauma and the struggle to confront and overcome them. He is a serial killer who forces Susan to relive her painful memories. The cat lady has been praised for its mature and sensitive handling of mental health issues. Susan's story resonates with many players, particularly those who've experienced similar struggles. The game's unique blend of horror, psychological depth, and emotional storytelling has earned a dedicated following and critical acclaim. Humanity is all things: creators, savior, destroyers, destruction, all put together in a fragile suit of skin and bone. The depth to the horror and beauty that we can manifest is infinite. With hell comes hope. Hope in the chance for salvation. Everything being equal and opposite, you can't get angels without the demons. And that's what I believe the core to the Devil Came Through His series is. Characters earning their day in the sun, finding hope and retribution,